What is good, everyone? All the homies, welcome back to another episode of the Willoughby Experience, where I'm feeling pretty fulfilled with the park and everything. Last episode, like I said, was a bit just the final touches of all the macro, trying to see where I want to place things that we're actually placing them, and we're building them. So yeah, it's kind of cool seeing it in this, like this, because the park's completely done now. All I got to do is open the park to see how it runs and what issues we're going to run into and what things building that they're going to clip through and whatnot, the guests and or staff. But yeah, the park is done all the way from the coasters, flat rides, shops, backstage areas, all those minute details. And really, it was my first time going for small little details. Now, I don't know enough about gutters. I gotta really study gutters to really put those into the game, but the backstage areas was the first time I built that up, and I thought that was very fun to do. That will be a few episodes down the line here, but regardless, yeah, we're just building up Cosmic Cow Land on this episode to backtrack, because I'm very excited about the park opening. I'm very excited to walk y'all through it. Because seeing how barren it is now and how full everything is just awesome. So, yeah, right now we're just working on Cosmic Cow Land, and I think later in the episode we also work on the watering hole, which we finish that up. That's not even fully done. We do some little minute details that really bring it to life, which will be a few episodes down the line here. Like I said, I've been working a lot on this, just recording, addicted to the game, and like, hold up, I need to put out these videos. So yeah. Thank y'all for everyone that watched the last episode and everything so far. But yeah, this right here is me messing with the attached scenery on just the flat rides, and I feel like I went definitely harder on this one, to put it lightly, than the disco. And that's just because I feel like, okay, once I did the disco, I feel I know what I want, what to do here. And then obviously going with Cosmic Cow, it made it easier to just say, okay, yeah. I know exactly what I'm looking for in the set. So, honestly, now I'm looking at it, I feel like I could add something, on one more small thing, but that's the thing about these. You can look at your creations all the time, whether it be Planet Coaster, what I'm talking about, or even anything that's like an art. You are your worst critic. The perfectionism can just burn you out. So coming up with it organically like that, those small little things, is the best. Because harping on one thing can just make you not as efficient. And that's really what I focus on with this part. There's a lot of times where I'll focus on one thing, and then also not become Professor Calamitous. Which if you know who that is, you probably had a great childhood, at least with watching TV shows. Because, yeah, that's a villain from Jimmy Neutron. But, his shtick was he was an amazing scientist, but was never able to finish any of his creations. It literally getting to the point where he was not finishing his, like, food, like his jelly donuts, his filled donuts, all that stuff. So, yeah, I was like, there's so many times I will get on and just not play. I'll look at the park kind of half done. I'll get to that later. And I guess it's understandable, life will be burning me out. But I think that's also a mix of the new game being out here. Like, look, I want to see what the new game has to offer. And building in this was just getting used to the UI and everything. It's really been... I've been enjoying the hell out of this game. One thing I do... There's like one tip that I thought. I always think of little things that I feel they can add. That would not be too hard, just little implementations for these robust updates that they be adding in the future. But I know some people are not happy with the color palette, and the more I'm looking at it, the more I can get used to it. Especially when you use certain colors to kind of get more washed colors, more realistic colors. But the game is very bright. It's very, very bright. The contrast is ridiculous. Greens are really green. Pinks are really pink. Color really, really pops. And I'll even say, and I wasn't even Planet 2 player, but compared to something like Planet Zoo, where you have, you know, that realistic kind of grainy feel to it. It's nice. And then what really brings to my point here is, I'll go to the taco commercial words, the standing taco. Why not both? Seriously though, why not? Why can't we have like a filter or something to add to the game? Or if you want that realistic filter, go ahead and add that or put that on. And if you want the filter that's in the game, the more colorful filter, go ahead and toggle that. Yeah, I feel like it could be literally as easy as like a colorblind filter. But who knows? Maybe they'll just let us adjust it ourselves. I mean, that's kind of great too. But right now I'm just starting to path up a lot of stuff. I actually start getting ready to build inside of the park here. So with the 6,000 guest cap now, and at least until tomorrow. That's why I'm kind of wanting to wait until tomorrow to play, because I think it might really be with just flumes, like the water slides that the issue is there for. But apparently there's an issue that is causing guests to not want to ride flat rides, which is very unfortunate. Or not flat, excuse me, slides and stuff, which is really unfortunate. But that's already been addressed, and I guess why not just go over some of the update here? Because Planet Coaster, they're having another hotfix coming out. It's not the December update, but this is one where it's going to be actually addressing what I was just talking about. And guests will be less likely to change their mind on their way to use a flume. And the chances that guests will use a flume to enter a pool has been increased. So that's good, especially considering that's probably the next thing we will be working on with Will It Be Experiences, all the water stuff. So, yeah, the chance of guests riding the same flume multiple times has been increased, and guests will now find full pools less desirable. I thought the last bullet point was finding them less desirable overall. I'm like, that would defeat the whole purpose of that little patch. And then guest queuing in general will now tolerate longer queues. And queue times being reported by platforms will now be displayed accurately. So the summer update is still on its way, and if you've missed it, you know, they're adding edge scrolling, browser tabs will remain on screen. Thank the Lord, thank you Jesus. Color picker adjustments. So exiting the color picker will apply the setting just like clicking confirm, so we don't got to go through that weird stuff. A lot of the UI is getting improved. So if your main harp of the game is, you know, how it's not it feels like it was kind of console-fied. That's what I'm gonna say it. Yeah, then honestly it seems like that is getting addressed here. They're adding separate loading and unload stations where it's applicable, which that wording there to me is, I'm not too sure, right? I'm not too sure what's that's gonna entail, because realistically, you know, that could be just for certain coaster trains, right? Certain types, certain coaster types. So if that really is the case there, then that's unfortunate, because I would hope it's for every single train. I hope that I could do that for even like Intamin's, because Millennium Force has one, for example. For here now, I decided, you know, I do need to add something else in the park, because I think at this point I was deciding I am just gonna open the front half. But in general, I felt kind of lopsided just having no family, really. Especially when this isn't necessarily just all thrills here. So we were going with the spinning coaster. That's an Perla spinning coaster, or Pearl in this game. And yeah, it's quite cute. You know, it was nice to do kind of a custom one, because I know Zamperillas generally can go custom more often than the others, the other manufacturers that do spinning coasters. So. Oh, but a big thing also in the update here is they for paths, they removed the Planet Coaster 2 logo from all the paths, it seems like, which yes. Why it's even in the game in the first place, not sure why. Give us an option. It's another thing, just, you know, why not have an option, you know? If people want that for simpler stuff, you know, simpler builds, let them do it. You know, but at the same time, they probably won't even notice or hurt anything if it's just not there. So yeah, for scenery, you know, added scenery pieces to create custom supports, so I can finally finish up this coaster. Because that's the thing is I am finalizing this park without doing custom supports, and I was gonna try to do that in this game. Unfortunately, they just don't have them for coasters. Like, so even if we were to try to do them, your favorite creator probably cannot do custom supports right now, unless they are really going out of their way and finagling the supports we have with the metal ones and whatever. But I digress. Right now, we just gotta wait for the summer update. We're gonna be able to change weather in Sandbox, which yes. So let me just get some rain rounds when I want to. Hopefully, it's actually cloudy when it rains too. I know that's not necessarily addressed here, but I kind of hope that's the thing because yeah, right now the devil's always beating his wife when it's raining, which it's always sunny. It's always perfectly sunny while it is like pouring down. Like it'll be storming outside in game. So yeah, hopefully that's addressed at some point at least. At least not in this update. It's not perfectly said, but at least you will be able to toggle weather. And water droplets will be visible on the game camera. I could probably go without that, but big thing here is increase possible maximum guest cap when in solo play in Sandbox. Yes, yes. And that's the big reason why Willy B World is postponed, because I'm probably working on both at the same time. But you will see in a few time lapses, I'm just struggling to find pieces still, even like as I'm a couple hours in. We're almost 100 hours into the game. And I'm still struggling to find pieces that I want to use. I'm finding better pieces from for things that I would have used or have already made. So in the future, I'm going to be making better things. It's like, yeah, this is definitely a experiment park as much as this is the experience of Willy B. Guests, staff, and maintenance, janitors now empty bins in their staff zones and rebalance condition decay from coasters and rides. Rides will call for servicing jobs earlier to allow more time for mechanics to attend. Yeah, that was the... I'm wondering if they're hopefully fixing zoning, because I think that's just a thing in general. But yeah, the things that are coming is they're actually looking at the flume physics, you know, more realistic guests and dummy behaviors. 2 additional special piece variants for raft flume, so they're just adding that in as the December update. More UI adjustments. And then reduce the condition penalty for power generators in the December update. 4 more power. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna mess with solar panels in this park, but the Willy B World, we definitely will be. Also, for some reason, I did not realize all of the collisions. Basically, up until finishing the park, and I was just doing all the minor details. I found out that all my collisions were toggled on. So the fact that you can still make amazing parks like that is great, but you could be even more free if you don't have those on. Which, yeah, that's a big reason why I was having some smoothing issues. But I digress here. Yeah, we're just finishing up. This is a simple, just kind of shorter, out and back, going in and out of itself layout. Because this isn't going to be a marquee or standout attraction at all. But at least for the time being, of where out of the 4 coasters here, it definitely will be ridden. Because we don't have that many rides actually. We have quite a few, but yeah, it's mostly a lot of shops, honestly. A lot of shops, a lot of things to do. I kind of do want to play tests around shows potentially, and how I want to do that is I want to potentially make a stage in front of a seating area, so where they get food, and then have it to where when they're sitting down eating, it looks like they're watching the show. But the thing is, I don't know how exactly to do that. And this sounds... So, if we're going off of management aspect, this is messed up. But if we're going off of just the game, honestly, this is not that bad. So, I'm thinking of having staff. We're going to just say that they are not staff. But they're going to be obviously staff. In-game, they're going to be staff. We're going to say they're not staff. And have them move in and out with the triggered pieces. Have them attached to... We'll have pads attached to them so that they can pop in and out of the stage, essentially. And if I can make that work within a certain time frame without the day, certain time frames, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So even if I could do something as simple as a water show now, you know, I just think that is one aspect I They brought in hotels, they brought in restaurants, which restaurants to me, that was a big miss in the last game. And granted, it was a big feature, but you couldn't, I mean, sure, you could theme up the restaurant, but it's not like you could run the restaurant, right? It was just, you had certain items, and people would buy them. It was just like more extravagant food stalls, which is like, that's fine, I guess, but I wish there was more into the play of restaurants. I wish we had, you know, we could hire waiters, we could hire cooks. And, you know, if we didn't have those, then, you know, the restaurant could be open, or we just couldn't have the same amount of capacity that the restaurant needed. You know, maybe we have some bad ingredients, so we have to take out a certain item. Stuff like that. You know, dealing with annoyed guests that are, you know, having to wait for long times. I'm not asking for Diner Dash, but I'm just asking for just, you know, it to feel like a restaurant. Just some restaurant stuff. Because at least at the hotel, you know, you would have weekenders and stuff, you know, people that really like staying at a hotel, so they most likely will stay at the hotel. But I would like more of that too if they were to bring those things back. Like, imagine if hotels, you know, you had to hire, you know, cleaning people for your hotel, and you had to hire staff for your hotel. The rooms had to be upkept. You know, guest satisfaction is a big thing. That would be awesome. I know that's a big implementation too. That's sounds like 2 systems alone on already all these other systems in the game. But that's just a bit of the dream. You know, some dreaming we got here. But yeah, if I were to add anything else, yeah, just put some robust systems into that. It'd be awesome. Oh yeah, finishing up the spinning coaster. And the last thing is shows, yeah. Finish it up here, just getting all the smoothing on here, and then because the layout is exactly the same, I'm just trying to get it as smooth as possible. But what would y'all, let me know in the comments if y'all would add a feature, you know, something like that. Let's at a park, you know, that they ended up adding like restaurants and or hotels, and now they have you know, stuff like the older games where they had shows and stuff. What would you add? You know, if you could think of a feature that's, you know, part of the park experience. Because I mean, I think I kind of hit everything there, but and if anything, what would you make a show? If you make any show in the game, what would you do it to? Because I'm actually imagining it now. Like, I imagine just fully going in and having like a live parade. Ooh, no, that's one thing. Give us parades. That would be amazing if they were able to let us do parades. Oh man. Yeah. So I would do a parade through Cosmic Cow Land, and yeah, I would probably just have a big old extravaganza. It's kind of big party on a stage right behind the globe, and we'll be experiencing on the main street and the shopping front there. But yeah, that's generally what I would do. Yeah, recently I've been keeping up with Geekism's water park, and yeah, if you're not following for that, that's why I've really been excited. So I've been giving him a good look on that because I need to figure out. See, I'm in the opposite end, right? He's a really big theme park enthusiast and theme enthusiast in general. I love theme, right? I love theming, but I've been around the generic theme my whole life, and I love coasters and flats. Like, I like forces. I like feeling adrenaline enough that. Yeah, I'm basically both, but I generally am just a park enthusiast. But basically, getting on to what I'm actually trying to say is, I'm not the water park enthusiast. You know, I respect what water parks are. You know, I expect that people like them, but for me, I'm like, I don't necessarily like getting wet, and specifically the feeling of chlorine on my body is just ugh. And then public pools, that's just ugh. I guess I don't mind getting in a private one. Even a private hot tub, but anything public like that is just, oh, I really do not want any part. And then, a side reason, but it's also kind of big, is I just truly don't see much innovation as compared to coasters. And I could be wrong. I really could be just ignorant as hell here, right? But from what I have seen, you know, slides have been slides for the most part. We have water coasters now. You know, we still got drop slides, but no ruggeds have really been broken. There's not any new slide type necessarily, really. you know, it's just kind of been, yeah, it's really nothing innovating for me. No, so, yeah, I just, they're kind of one-dimensional in that aspect. So I've never been the water park person. I like looking at them from afar, and I love seeing them. Like when I think it's in Bahamas or something, but when I was on a cruise one time, and we stopped by, and we walked through like the water park of Atlantis, like just the outside. I was like, Jesus Christ, that is insane. Yeah, because the theming of it is amazing. So I'm not gonna go hard with theming at all with this one though. It's gonna be okay. I say that in the sense of this actually, the water park might actually look better than the main park because they know that's what's going to be generating most of the money, and that's a big thing. That's a big thing. So it's gonna be stylized, smorgasbord of stylized, but it's that generally gonna have a loose shipwreck kind of pirates resort theme. But generally, it will look nicer. Like the buildings, I'm going to try to make look nicer. Because by then, hopefully, I know where a lot of the pieces are. I know exactly what I want to be building. And yeah, I'm excited. That's going to be where the family classic wooden coaster is right now. In that back left end, where behind Screaming Wheels is. Oh, when you can see Screaming Wheels, it's its proper colors now. So that's cool. And this is me trying to cousin support, and then realizing. Oh gosh. Now this is also because I had all the collisions on, and I thought I didn't have them on. So instead I was like, screw it. Let's go back to the watering hole here and finish it up. And I'm pretty sure that's the rest of the time lapse, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we're just finishing that up. And really, I was having an idea of like, look, there's always these kind of bars or main areas in these shopping fronts, you know. So, and like these modern ones where it's kind of like an outdoor shopping mall essentially. So I'm like, okay, we don't have one of those yet, and I kind of still want it to be like a place for people to go to, even if they weren't riding. So it probably will be paid per attraction, but we say you can get a pass, right? You can say you can get a pass. Like you can get a pass just for ride everything, but you can still just walk around and do whatever. So that's what else the guest services is for. We're mostly going to say that the stalls for now are for security, which unfortunately there is no security guards. And unfortunately there is no animatronics. Like the studio pack in the last game. Because by the end of my builds, I abused them for ride attendants and entrance booths, park attendants, all that stuff. Anything where I felt like there would be someone attending something, I would have an animatronic there. And they was very, I'm really missing that. Now, I was missing the archer at first too. It's like, oh no, we don't get anything to see how big, for making things way too big out of scale, and if they can reach this, and if this even has clearance issues or not. Well, luckily, the stone guess is a really good replacement for that. And it's almost like, I don't know if they thought of it, but there is one that is almost like 3 of them that are perfect for just seeing if, whether it's like width where they have their arms out or if they're standing perfectly tall, it's perfect for it. But for this, what we're building here is the watering hole called Slushes and Spirits. You're gonna be able to get some specialty drinks, but also slushes. They have a specialty drink where it's probably an alcoholic slushy, all that stuff. But they also have regular stuff. They have it's a tap room as well, so they probably have some craft beers. Yeah, we're definitely gonna go with that, and it's gonna give a whole modern look. It was kind of like, I kind of wanted to have it to where it's like even art house on the side too, where you get like kind of a little bit of vibes of the city of Richmond and stuff, as you can see here. And then what I really enjoyed what I did was I ended up throwing a lot of quotes from the homies that I met over the years. A shout out to the Thrill Culture, and yeah, because they're basically the crew that I travel, ride coaster with, go and have a great time with. And we have so many just dumb quotes, and just like one of them, like unpopular opinion and click, and mid. And flat soda, like, all that's what's all going to be up here is randomly. It's not even all of them, and we're going to come up with even more, actually. But I just like the idea. Do the West, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so I say I like turning rides into mosh pits. So that's what we mean with that. But all in all, I am very, very pleased with how everything's been coming up. Because at first, you know, I was like, am I sure I'm gonna be able to do this? Because I kind of got lost in the sauce with, like I was saying, being Professor Calamitous. Then I said, you know, let me just build. Let me just try to find everything, learn the game. And I was really surprised about what I came up with here. I'm generally surprising myself every time. I'm telling you, I was really not the best builder. I really was not. I still am not. But right now, I'm okay. I'm passing. I'm average at best, and I'll take that. Because before, not the best. And it really was just minor details that I would just make big boxes with nothing, just windows and doors, you know. So yeah, the fact I feel like I've cleaned up on that aspect really helps. And these decals have been amazing. They're really gonna add some age and some grunge to these buildings that you were not able to do in the last game. I think they had them in Planet Zoo. I'm pretty sure though. So it's nice to see that they. Yes, it's kind of nice to see that basically a lot of the pieces have just merged. Because I'm telling you, the more I'm playing with these pieces, it is crazy how they are themed, right? They definitely have themes, but they feel so modular at the same time. Like, it truly feels like you can use one theme for so many ideas. So many ideas. And that's really the beauty of the game. I truly think that creativity is not locked in any way. Only by you maybe struggling with the UI in its current phase, but even then, once you get used to it, like, oof, yeah. This thing is something special. So right now we got this here. We're just gonna put up the doors. I wanted to, like I said, to get this modern art box look, kind of like close to what a lot of breweries are today. Just gonna have that here, and then we put out some benches up front. Now, what I didn't end up showing in any time lapse, unfortunately, because I was really trying to come up with an idea. It was a lot of trial and error with this, so please forgive me. But essentially, I wanted to see if I could make a fire pit and have a canopy over as well. And we ended up adding some lights and some streamers around it. Oh. Yeah, it's great. This is gonna be, people are gonna leave here when we are open at late nights, and we're gonna have some great time in the park, you know, for some late night hours. have some great night rides. That's all I'm saying. It's a vibe. The park at night, I love it. I love it. Now we're probably gonna have, I think the parks right now, if you do open them, they unfortunately you can't set the hours, so they will just open and close from 8 to 8 or something like that. And I think the guests reflect that too, from what I've been seeing and hearing. So that's interesting. I will say, I do hope that doesn't affect what they end up writing, because I know people will come early. I know a big majority will come early, just like in real life, and then they'll end up writing stuff and then leave. And then, you know, what I end up doing at like my home park is I'll show up around like 3, 4 until close, like 10 or 11. And then while all those people are leaving, I'm like, okay, the park is kind of empty now. And apparently that's what happens. There's not really many people that will show up after that 3 o'clock. So that's really what I'm curious about financing wise. And I really hope that, you know, if they're allowing us to change the guest cap, also allow us to change essentially, yeah, the hours as well. Why not? So this is just final touches here for this video, because we are finalizing. I know I said at the first episode I was only going to do 20, 15-minute episodes, but I think y'all like the 30-minute ones. I think y'all like that. And honestly, somehow doing the 30-minute episodes is not. I thought they were going to be a bit harder, but I guess I'm just a yapper. and I'm super passionate about the game, so that helps too. But for y'all enthusiasts out there, happy IAPA Day, or IAPA Week, sorry. We got some cool stuff coming. Make sure to check out the podcast where we're going to be talking about that and all the other news that comes out. We have over 70 episodes, and make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, y'all. Take care. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.